Hey everybody, old Buck Dave back here again.
With old
And
Buck.
with
Yeah, old Buck Dell
old
right
Buck
there
Dale.
alongside you.
We're both here, both kicking, ready for another action-packed episode. Two old bucks.
I don't know about action. Action packed.
So what's going on in your part of the world today? We're
uh,
oh, I'm remote again, as you know. Well, you know,
yeah,
but
yeah.
everybody else didn't know till just now.
Well, it's certainly. I look forward to talking to you. And like I said, if we were just meeting, I would be coming with the same thoughts. So we'll share them with everybody. Um, I was going to ask you, what is our goals as a podcaster? Just off the top of your head.
What are our goals?
Yeah.
Well, world domination, number one. We're not doing so well there, but
Yeah.
yeah.
You know what my
It's
goals
it's
are, Dave?
it's to kind of amuse myself,
My goals are,
chat with you. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I keep
yeah.
interrupting you.
But my maybe I'll give you a clue. My goals are to have been right. I don't know. We don't have an audience technically to change the world just by what we say, but I would like to think that uh, someday somebody would dig back in the old archives and say, "Hey, these two old bucks were right."
Well, you've been right a lot of times here. I mean,
I think I've been spot on. I
I'm
think I
tired of
sort of.
seeing CBS News breaking stories of something you talked about 2 weeks prior to that, man. Well, you're prescient.
Well, that's true. That's true. And we did talk about things like the, you know, doesn't seem to be dissuading anybody from driving at the price of gas.
Mm-hmm.
And I was on public transport. So I agree with you. That it would be nice to think that someone says, he was right about that. And like, say climate, for example,
Mm-hmm.
the climate is really, 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 really getting rough. And the politics or the conversation is saying climate. You don't see any changes. You know what I mean? You don't say, well, let's put a rail system in and take some of the traffic, or let's do something different, or let's sell electric cars cheaper or something. So I'm just wondering how far this has to go before you see serious changes where you say, listen, you can buy a good electric car for 25,000 or something like that. And I don't know who can manage. I don't know who can manage those changes. And of course, the world. Uh, I have connections in other parts of the world, and their inflation and their supply chains is really. I mean, they had surrendered themselves to the outside world for material a long time ago. Now it's getting tough.
Painful. Yeah.
Did you see that thing about the World Food Program having to cancel all the donations to Sudan and some of those places that constantly are in?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Ukraine situation, the Ukraine war, all that grain is
Mm-hmm.
sitting in silos there that was
Oh, right, right,
destined.
right, right. Can't get it
Yeah.
out. Can't get it out.
Hey, I'm telling you, I think we took all that for granted
Yeah.
that those ships would manage to get
Everything
there,
would
and
keep going. Yeah. Well, now we
so
know.
well now we
Now
know,
we
and
learning history again. Yeah.
yeah, and so I would like to some of my predictions. I would like to say that I think I have another. I mean, I'll give you a spot on
I feel a
prediction.
prediction coming here. I feel a prediction coming.
Yeah.
You're hearing it at the same time I am,
I,
folks.
if I was sitting across the table from you, I know that when the predictions come, and usually you reach for your coffee and you just
Yeah.
say here he comes. But I think winter. I'm predicting that that we're in the summer. Obviously most of the world in the northern hemisphere, but I predict when the winter comes that the everything is going to change in the in the Russian front or the Ukrainian front. It's gonna. I mean, there's no place for those people to live. Now they're still coping
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
with nothing.
Yeah.
So it's just going to be a humanitarian disaster 10 times over, and all Putin has to do is just keep shelling nonstop and move. Move what
Yeah.
60 feet ahead each time.
Yeah.
And he just keeps like a lawnmower. So we'll see, and what effect it
Yeah.
has on the rest of the world. And then, of course, the upcoming the political changes, whether you can legislate peace and tranquility. I don't know how that's going to go, but that's another factor at play. So we shall see. That's my prediction for today. I do have a public service announcement that I could give you.
Bring it on. Public is listening, baby.
Well, I think the old bucks and the vivacious vixens that might be listening, I want to remind people that when you drop something and you reach down to get it, be aware of the obstacles in your road.
You have to elaborate on that a little bit for me.
Okay. You drop something off the kitchen table or something and reach over and get it. You know, the back of the chair is right there. Or you drop something in the kitchen and you're reaching down and it's maybe close to the cabinets and you're not thinking, or the cabinet door is open or you get below something. I've had that happen already, where I pulled something up above me, then reached down below it, then forgot that it was open at the top of me.
Oh, yeah.
And smacked my head on that. And the last warning, which I would consider a public service announcement, is don't be reaching up to adjust your sunglasses when you're holding your drill.
Oh, man. All right.
And by the way, I did dodge that bullet. And I said, oh my God, what is wrong with me? I keep thinking, how does these things happen? So, all right. So that's all I have to say about public service.
That'll be on CBS next week for sure. Yeah. Oh, man.
Or don't sit on your friend's new couch with the screwdriver in your pocket. Dodged that bullet a couple times.
You're full of public service announcements, man.
I'm just telling you what this old buck has fallen to pieces. So I'm just letting you know what's going on. So,
yeah, jeez. Hey, moving right along. Are you out of public service announcements, or do we have more to come?
No,
I'm ready for them. I'm ready for them.
I got a whole bag full of stuff that I would lay on you. You'd probably have half a cup of coffee going by the time. And another thing that I wanted to tell you, I wanted to ask you. You know when your phone is like not shut off or something, and you stick it in your pocket, and it bounces around. It bounces around in there.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I usually can tell because I say, "Man, that phone feels like it's warm." Because A, it's on, and B, I'm doing all kind of stuff with it, and I don't know what triggers it. I thought when in your pocket you wouldn't be able to make it, jump around. I pull it out of my pocket and I look at this thing. I say, where is this stuff? How would I get to these things that I can get to randomly in my pocket that I don't even know the phone is capable of doing? I mean, does that happen to you?
I have pulled my phone out of my pocket and found that I've sent the most bizarre text messages to somebody. It's a mixture of letters and numbers. I don't know how it happens.
How does that? How could you possibly hit the send button?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like a little.
I took it, and I found a beautiful video the other day. Actually, I had my phone in my in the back of my jersey on a bike ride, and I'm like, "What is this video?" And it was, it was the Earth looking through the blue fabric of my jersey. And it was kind of pretty actually, but it took me a while to figure out what it was.
Oh.
It was a video. It was an actual video of just the sky above through a blue filter.
So you had managed to get to the video portion.
It could have been an NFT. Yeah, it could have been an NFT. Why?
Which isn't worth too much anymore.
Speaking of NFTs, what's going on with Bitcoin and all the cryptocurrencies?
Last thing, they were crashing. I don't know. I didn't read any more about that.
A couple of them have gone belly up here. Yeah. As predicted. It's not real. It's not real.
We kind of questioned that ourselves. So you have no answer to the what the terminus is on randomly bouncing your phone around in your pocket.
I don't know how it happens, but it does.
So maybe if you get to a certain point, like emails, you could keep repeating the same email. Couldn't get out of that, but it would just keep sending it, or doing something to it and adding more to it, editing it.
And you know what else has happened to me a couple times is somebody will inadvertently call me. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And I answer the phone, and they don't know they've called me. Okay.
I did
And
that the other day.
I just hear the talking in the background and this and that, and I'm going, hey, 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 Bob, Chris, Dale.
Yeah.
And
I did that the other day. It happened to me the other day. I could see that. And I don't know how that happens because I didn't think the phone was even being bounced around, but it doesn't take much to trigger these things.
yeah. Hey,
Hmm.
we got some good feedback on the Rick Bass story
Yeah.
that we read last week. Talked about, yeah, and that actually triggered something in my mind after we were done, and that was the whole thing with owls. We had some questions on how the owl got stuck in there. It's like, and like, well, they were going slow around the bends. The owl could have gotten out. And my answer to that was, it's a work of fiction, people. Okay, they can write whatever they want. None of those people in that story were real. They were all made up. Just, I don't know, crush anybody's
And
dreams
it
there,
was,
but that was made up.
and it was entitled Eating. So
Eating,
that kind of
yeah.
threw me. But the owl thing reminded me too, because an upside down canoe, the the front usually sticks over the windscreen, so it
Mm-hmm.
could theoretically be sucked up underneath there,
Yeah.
and if it didn't get its wings broken off or something like that, it could theoretically
Mm-hmm.
hopped all the way to the back where it was safe. That was an interesting thought.
Yeah.
And
But you know what reminded me afterward is we used to have owls at home.
you mean you mean
A,
in home?
a family of owls. We had a big elm tree in the front yard. You remember elm trees?
I
Remember
do.
when there were still elm trees on the planet? Yeah, we had one in the front yard. My dad built a patio underneath it, and that kind of became the neighborhood gathering place in the evenings. And then as it got dark, there's an owl family that had a home in there, and inside the one the one branch, the one part of the trunk that was already dying. They had it was hollowed out, and they lived up there. And they used to fly in and out, and the kids would just go. The baby owls would go crazy when the parents brought a mouse home or something, and they're screeching and screaming, and then pretty soon they're barfing up hairballs or fur balls, not hairballs. Yeah, hairballs. They digest
The
everything but
indigestible part.
the indigestible part. Yeah, and mom and dad or Dave
Did
has
you
to
ever find one
clean
of
up
them
the pad.
laying on the ground? You say, "What is this, Dad?"
Oh yeah. They used to leave us a lot of hairballs, so that's kind of
Yeah.
that's my reminiscence.
I like owls, by the way. I mean, I think they're pretty cool
I
creatures.
think they're pretty cool too.
Yeah,
Pretty,
I've never had too many reasons to interact with them, but if I found one in jeopardy, I would do my best to free them up or something, that kind of thing. So
yeah, they're pretty cool.
I think they are cool. Um, do you remember sometime back? Again, we were ahead of the curve when I said the health system in America was pretty much going down the tube.
Oh yeah,
You remember that?
yeah.
Okay. Well, any of the old Buck listeners may remember me talking about that. And I just saw in a recent article that expounded upon that, and they did it from the amount of debt that's incurred by people because of sicknesses.
Oh yeah.
And we are talking millions and millions of dollars. And the point I want to make here is that an industry has formed around that debt to recover it. So hospitals are charging these outrageous amounts and they can't get it all. So they sell the debt.
Mm-hmm.
And the number of people that have pretty much gone broke or, lost everything they have over healthcare costs is getting worse and worse and worse. So,
You're
and
you're more
that
fun than
scares
a
me.
barrel of monkeys today, buddy.
Oh,
I'll
that
tell
scares
you.
me. I'm
Jeez.
telling you, but that scares me. It really does. That you can have an illness, and even though you think you have some coverage, the next thing you know, the deductibles and all the other stuff kick in, and before you know it, you're thousands of dollars down, especially with a dentist. And I mean, I think I have
Okay.
one that's reasonable now, but still, every tooth is worth $2,000 if you're mining teeth.
Yeah.
Teeth mining. So
Speaking of old sick people, I saw a great movie last night.
Really? Tell me
Really.
about that. What
It's
about?
called A Man Called Ove. Ove. It's a Swedish movie. It's based on the book. And I don't remember who the author is. I apologize for that. But it was on Amazon Prime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was on Amazon Prime last night, and it was really. It's about a. I mean, it was kind of predictable, but it was it was sweet. Where an old fella, he got retired, from the place he'd worked ever since he was 16, and his wife had died 6 months prior to that, and he was kind of a grouchy old man in this in this housing complex. And it was just about it was about his story. He wanted to end it all. Okay. And he's continually thwarted in his efforts to end it all, to commit suicide.
Oh, oh, you mean he literally, the book literally says he made some attempts, but some unforeseen thing happened.
Yeah,
that
something always
prevented it.
happened. Yeah, yeah. Somebody would ring the front doorbell, or yeah. It was cute. It was cute. I mean, it was basic. It was kind of predictable, but it was sweet. And
and why did you like it?
why?
You
It was about it was a person's life, and a lot of flashbacks to and you just reminisce about when you met your mate, and
It wouldn't be because you're old, like
it
the
would be
guy
because I'm
in the
old.
movie.
Yeah, yeah. In fact, I'm older than he was in the movie. But he was a crotchety old. He'd become a crotchety old man, and it was about the kind of evolution of that. It was cute. It was cute. I would recommend it. It was just a nice, feel-good movie.
Do you think we're ever going to come to the point of the science fiction movie Soylent Green? Remember that movie Soylent
Yeah,
Green?
yeah.
I think that movie. I mean, he had enough, and everything was life wasn't worth living. So you have this place you can go, and they would convert all the corpses into wafers.
What about the guy who was it Google? The guy that Google fired because he felt that that the his pet robot had become human, had a heart and a mind and all that sort of thing.
He worked for Google, and he
I
believed
think
that.
it was Google. I'm not sure.
Oh.
I just
And changing the conversation because
because
other people listening. So
yeah,
not just you and me.
yeah.
You and me and you and the ballerista. What do they call the barista? Usually that's who's old. You don't know when hearing us talking.
Right. Like
and they look at us while we're laughing over here
yeah.
like crazy. Yeah, I think what the hell? Those two guys laughing all the time.
So we got a call from my sister-in-law, my wife's sister. She was traveling. She was in Savannah. She'd been at a hotel in Savannah, traveling with her cat. Okay, and she said the cat's gone. I can't find the cat. Yeah. So she's turning the room upside. Cat's in the room. Okay, she brings the cat in. She's got a cat box.
The cat is in the room. It's convinced.
Cat is in the room with her, but when she wakes up in the morning, she cannot find the cat. And the cat obviously can't open the door. So she's
so we think.
Yeah. So she finally calls the hotel. They send the engineer up, and he's taking everything apart. And
come on.
The room had 2 beds in it. As it turns out, the second bed, the mattress, had a tear in it, a couple inches long.
My soul.
The cat had found that and had crawled into the middle of the mattress and was stuck inside there, and was not complaining apparently. But yeah, that was her cat story. So she had to claw the cat out of the mattress.
How did they get it out?
She's not welcome back at that hotel chain. I can tell you that.
So in other words, when you check in, you say you have a pet.
Oh yeah. She
admitted that she was carrying
It was a pet friendly hotel.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what would have happened if they said, you just threw up her hands and fell down onto the other bed? You hit the bed in despair, and you hear this, meow.
Yeah.
I was thinking you were going to tell me. You know what I thought when you said that?
No.
I said you're going to tell me that somehow she had to leave. She had to leave the hotel. The cat had really made an escape.
Yeah.
Walked across the balcony, jumped from one balcony to another or whatever. They didn't know where he was at, and literally had to leave him behind.
Yeah. Well, she was considering leaving the cat behind wherever it was. Believe me, she toughed it out. The cat the cat was rescued.
You saw the cat yourself. So the cat is still well.
The cat lives. Yeah, the cat lives. Allegedly, yeah.
I don't have any pet stories because I've given up pets many years ago.
Yeah. Probably a wise choice.
Once I lost my dog that could talk, and that was it.
Dog that could talk.
Yeah.
All right. What about you? What was your dog's name?
My dog name? His name was Delco.
Delco. Almost like you.
Yeah.
Del and Delco.
Yeah.
Like the battery?
Well, I mean, I thought my dog's name was Delco first. The batteries or whatever, they came second. It's like if you name your dog Pontiac. Oh man. Yeah. What can you do about that? Because there was a car named after that. So anyhow, that was his name, and he was smart. So, but when I lost him, I knew I was never going to replace anything. So Delco. I gave up on the dogs.
No new batteries
and pets.
Okay. Yeah.
And the batteries. So
what else is going on in your world?
I don't know where that came from.
I don't know. It worked kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, if you're out there listening and you have a unique name for your pet, go ahead and send it into buckstwoold@gmail.com. I'd be curious to see what everybody has to say about it.
What's your favorite pet?
I mean, some people are pet people forever. It broke my heart too much to have to deal with that again.
Yeah.
Thank God our children live longer than that.
Jeez. Oh man.
So
hey, here's something you probably didn't know.
You ever notice how lots of things I don't know, but tell me
one or two. You know how many Thai restaurants there are in this country?
Thousands.
I can't give you the number actually. I'm winging this, but a lot. Okay, far out of proportion to the number of Thai people living in this country.
And why do you think that is?
Well, I wondered why, actually, and I found out. It's because the Thai government promotes and subsidizes the establishment of Thai restaurants around the world. This is their big
really?
Yeah, it's a big PR effort by the Thai. It's a repressive government, actually. It's not a very nice crew running that country, but they're doing this as kind of this is like a long-term PR thing. I like Thai restaurants, by the way. I enjoy going to Thai restaurants. I like the food. Well, I can't eat the super hot stuff, but my wife does.
I always thought that the prevalence of any kind of restaurants was the American propensity for eating.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? We just there's a food channels. I mean, that's just bizarre to me on television. Just can have so many food things. If you see all the diners and dives program, I mean, that stuff all looks pretty good if you know where that's at. Where the local place at.
It's funny when I go to my dentist. When I go to my dentist, they've got a TV in all the rooms.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So and they've got the food channel on. Does that make any sense? So you have no choice but to watch the food channel while you're getting your mouth drilled apart. That's just weird.
Then just eat a lot of celery before you go to the dentist. Yeah. So when he goes in there, he'll have something to work with.
I normally do like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich before I go in. I get my money's worth today. Anyway.
Yeah, make him dig it all out. Yeah. No, the food thing is I just believe that we just always like to try different things, and
We do.
Although I don't remember doing that much as as a boy. I do not remember eating. I remember just the old domestic kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, that was back in the old days.
Yeah, in the old days.
Before other countries were invented, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, and pizza was an American invention, or we attributed it. We gave an Italian name, and we invented it. So
the Pizza Hut down on 2nd Street, right?
Yeah,
that's where it came from.
Yeah. So, well, that's interesting.
Yeah. Hey, I got one more thing on my mind. What do you think of the new Saudi-funded golf tour, the LIV tour, the Live Tour?
Well,
you know about that, right?
What I think about that is that you can buy anything. Put the price out there, and you can get whatever it is you want to do. Now, if you want to start a new NFL team, all you have to do is pay everybody $2 million or something to, be on your team. And how successful that's going to be as far as generating revenue, I don't think it has anything to do with that at all. I think they just want the PR.
It's PR. It's it's kind of like. Yeah,
and those guys sold their soul for
restaurants.
that.
Oh yeah.
They sold their soul for that.
I mean, I really don't care about golf. I really don't care about golf, frankly. You know that. You've seen me.
I know you're terrible.
You've seen me in action. I'm terrible. But yeah, I think this is just obviously this is PR by the Saudi government. Another very repressive bunch of bad boys who are trying to polish their world image.
Well, I didn't follow that, and I didn't actually care who won because there wasn't enough really new, young, dangerous talent in that group. You know what I mean? These guys are all pretty well named golfers, and you need some of the startup guys, little guys, and maybe somebody named that you don't know, and he comes out and does this fantastic. He might not be the world beater after that, but he comes in and plays a fantastic game, and that he doesn't get to play in that one.
Yeah.
So, we'll see what happens.
We'll see.
Yeah. If it's not on TV, that's all. If it's not on TV, I'm not going to watch it anyhow. So, so that's interesting.
So we're going to suffer through the heat wave together here, different places.
I wonder. Well, almost everybody that listens to us, except for the few people, there's a couple around the world that do listen to us. I think is caught up in that, don't you think, Dave? I mean, probably 90 wherever they are.
Wherever you are.
Wherever I am.
Yeah.
I have to stay out of that. I don't mind the heat, but I have to stay out of the sun.
Yeah.
The sun at that temperature will just burn my frail little.
Your frail little body, yeah.
My frail little skin that's
make more freckles on your face. I know. Hey, well, listen. Unfortunately, I got this big running out of time message just popped up here. So we kind of got a late start here and used up some of our time.
Airtime? We have to add some music in. You can throw some extra music in.
Yeah. All right. So I think we're going to have to say goodbye.
Okay. It's always good talking to you.
Likewise.
Any reason. All right. We'll say goodbye. It's old Buck Del saying thanks for our listeners out there. And
tell us what you think, folks. BUCKSTWOOLD@gmail.com. Talk to you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.